this is Mark in the commentary box talking about this kind of level and other content about TCR Europe. Today at race 3 this afternoon, our coverage starts in about 4.5 minutes time. Hey, this is Mark in the And this is, there we are. I can hear myself now. Yes, there's a slight buzz, but it's working, I can hear myself. Hello and welcome to Belgium. We're in Zolder in Belgium for this weekend, rounds 3 and 4 of TCR Europe 2020. If you were with us 3 weeks ago at the circuits of Paul Ricard in Le Castellet in the south of France, you'll have seen two quite interesting opening races to the championship, a very different series, as we talked about then, than the one originally planned for this year. But we are underway. We're joined this weekend in Zolder by the WTCR, their opening races. They've just had their qualifying. And some parallels, I think it's fair to say, between TCR Europe and WTCR this weekend, in that the pole position for race 1 has been set by the same brand of car, Audi. Audi RS3 LMS will be on pole for TCR Europe Race 1 and also for WTCR. It was Nathaniel Berton we saw a moment ago take WTCR's pole, but it's that man, Nicolas Baert, from Come To You Audi, the Audi RS3 LMS, the team on their home track, 19-year-old Nicolas Baert, very, very happy to give himself on his home race and the team pole position. Some jubilation in the pits as we saw this morning in qualifying, and in fact all 3 of the Come To You Audis in the top 4 positions. So Nicolas Baert on pole, alongside him on row 1, the sole non-Audi in the front 2 rows of the grid. You see there on the left of your screen, there it is, car number 70, the Hyundai i30N of the BRC team's driver Matto Homola. Homola telling me earlier on that he had a nightmare weekend and one to forget in Le Castellet, and so this weekend really is where his championship bid gets back on track. So Matto Homola, the man alongside Nicolas Baert on the front row of the grid, and then behind on row 2, the other 2 Audis. The far more experienced Mehdi Benani, there you see our cameraman just making his way across to car 250. Mehdi Benani, of course, a regular in WTCC, WTCR last year, and a race winner for the Citroën team in the past. Mehdi Benani coming to TCR Europe. The Moroccan driver very happy, very pleased to be leading the championship, in fact, after qualifying this morning. After Le Castellet, it was Dan Lloyd who had a 1-point lead over Benani, but with points from 1st to 10th now in qualifying, one of the rule changes for this year, Benani takes a lead back from Lloyd and Sami Taufik, another Moroccan driver, Mehdi Benani's protege, in the 3rd and final of the Come To You Audi RS3s. I've already been exchanging comments with Phil Kinch, the TCR guru. He was commenting that the grid for race 1 looks very interesting. Mike Halder, race winner 3 weeks ago in Le Castellet, row 3. I was pointing out that potentially race 2 tomorrow has an even more interesting grid. Danny Nage in the other BRC Hyundai, alongside Mike Halder on row 3. Row 4, Andreas Beckmann in the target competition Hyundai. And alongside Andreas is Mike's sister, Michelle Halder. Some colour changes to tell you about this weekend. No real changes on Michelle's car, but Mike, winner of race 2 in Le Castellet, there's a lot more black on his car, I've noticed this weekend. No changes for Brutal Fish, apart from the national flags of the drivers on the roofs. The cars are pretty much identical. Dan Lloyd, winner of race 1 in Le Castellet, and carrying an awful lot of ballast, as are several others this weekend. Dan, more than happy to be on pole for race 2. And in case you're wondering, hang on a second, surely there should be a Peugeot or 2 in there somewhere. Well, engine changes for the 2 JSB Competition cars of Julien Brichet and Jean-Laurent Navarro takes them right to the back of the grid. However, this is where it gets interesting. So Brichet has pretty much written off race 1, but for race 2, he will be on row 2 of the grid. Anyway, let's concentrate on race 1. There is our grid for race 1. Bart and Hommel are row 1, Benani Taufik row 2, Halder and Nage row 3, Andreas Beckmann, Michelle Halder row 4. Row 5 is Dan Lloyd and Martin Rieber in the second of the Brutal Fish cars. Then Pepe Oriola, we'll talk about him in a moment, had a nightmare qualifying with Teddy Claret alongside him. Jessica Beckmann, Jimmy Claret, then John Filippi, who was quickest in qualifying in Le Castellet, alongside Florian Brichet, then Gilles Colombani and Stéphane Montage, penultimate row of the grid, and right at the back, because of those engine change penalties, Julien Brichet, right at the back, Jean-Laurent Navarro. Now, Pepe Oriola, I mentioned, saw him in the lift at the hotel yesterday, very upbeat, had a disappointing first weekend of the series. There are the 2 JSB cars. Pepe was saying, you know, are you ready to talk about a race winner this weekend called Pepe Oriola? Well, not to be, I don't think, because this morning went through from Q1 and then a bit of a nightmare with the splitter on the car. The mounting for the splitter came loose, or had broken rather, and so the team having to effectively rebuild the front of the car in between Q1 and Q2. Probably missed about 2 minutes or so of Q2. He went out. It was then red flagged because one of the Hondas hit a tyre stack at the chicane, turn 8, turn 9. And so he really didn't get a chance to put a quick lap in until right at the end of the session. It wasn't enough. So Pepe Oriola, there he is at the back of your shot, you saw briefly. P12 for both races. So this, I don't think, will be the weekend that we see Pepe Oriola take his first victory in TCR Europe. All 3 of the Brutal Fish cars running together. Martin Rieber must be delighted to be up where he is. But Oriola really wants to get his campaign underway. And I mentioned in Le Castellet that the team must have one of the strongest potential lineups. I need to be careful what I say in case I jinx myself. But in terms of the team's trophy, the team's competition, then having Pepe Oriola and Dan Lloyd, both potential race winners, Martin Rieber there to get the points for the team, then you have to say that they will be up there challenging with the likes of Target Competition and come to you at the end of the slightly shorter than we'd planned 6 race weekend season. It all comes to an end in early November in Jarama. But effectively from this weekend onwards, we have a race every other week. So in 2 weeks' time, we're in Monza. 2 weeks after that, it's Barcelona. And 2 weeks after that, it's Spa, back in Belgium. And then we finish in Jarama in November. So beneath my commentary position, Nicolas Bart just rolls up to take his position on pole for this 3rd race in the 2020 season. And of the 24 cars we had at Le Castellet, 4 are effectively missing. Lewis Kent is competing in TCR UK this weekend. Tom Coronel is here, but he's competing in WTCR, not being able, of course, to do both. And unfortunately, Victor Davidovsky, the PSS car, that's not here. Victor unable to leave Macedonia. And so the only other driver missing was the Cupra driver that we originally had in Le Castellet, Evgeny Leonov. He's not here either. And so we're down from 24 cars down to 20. Lights are already on, the revs are rising in a very short red light period. And in fact, Homola goes up the inside. Matto Homola snatches the lead off the start line. And I wonder if Nicolas Bart was caught napping. He certainly didn't seem to make as good a start as Matto Homola. Homola in the Hyundai leads. Mike Halder is also up there. So Hyundai leads from Audi, then it's the Honda of Mike Halder, who's also carrying success ballast, remember. So that window in which the start lights go out, a very short period and possibly, I dare say, possibly the inexperience, although already Bart has retaken the lead, has powered past the Hyundai. And Taufik also very slow off the line as one of the Brutal Fish cars. And it was that Oriola. It certainly wasn't the three-digit number of Dan Lloyd off into the gravel. There's Michel Halder, there's Lloyd. There, I think, behind Lloyd was Martin Rieber. Then the Peugeots. So, Nicolas Bart from Matto Homola, Mehdi Benani, Sami Taufik, Mike Halder, Danny Nage, Andreas Beckman, Michel Halder, Dan Lloyd, Martin Rieber, and then Pepe Oriola, indeed it was, that was off into the gravel. He's lost something like 10 seconds in that incident. So the other change for this year, now on the number of laps rather than race duration. And look at that already. Nicolas Bart opening up an advantage of just over a second, 1.2 seconds in fact, over Matto Homola. Into that very square left-hander at turn 1. And Mike Halder coming under pressure. Halder has passed Matto Homola for second place. And Homola side by side with Mehdi Benani. Homola, though, has the line for the right-hander. Round the back of the paddock, through turn 4, Lucien Bianchi. Down towards the Boutsen chicane, turns 5 and 6. Homola holds the line. You see there the tyre packs put out to cut the likelihood of infringements in terms of track limits. All 3 of the chicanes here having tyre packs out. There is Danny Nage, just behind is Michel Halder. That is the battle for 5th and 6th at the moment. Michel Halder alongside Danny Nage. Just taking to the curb slightly, and indeed Dan Lloyd gets past. So Lloyd having moved up from 7th now to 6th. John Filippi with Jessica Beckman just behind. A change to the colour scheme of Jessica Beckman's car, by the way, this weekend. Josh Files pointing out to me yesterday, their driver coach, that Jessica's car, there it is, just behind John Filippi, having lost the pink lipstick that you may be used to, and she's in fact gone to blue. There is Pepe Oriola, having dropped right to the back of the field because of that incident. Look at that advantage, 2.9 seconds now, the gap between Bart and Mike Halder. There is Halder. You see what I mean about the black on the front of the car. Then in 3rd place, Matto Homola, Mehdi Benani having dropped to 4th. Danny Nage is just ahead of Danny Lloyd, I was going to say, got the 2 of them. Oh, inside the tyre pack. That's potential track limits infringement. Will the stewards be looking at that, or will they say they really have nowhere to go? Homola then, Benani. Danny Nage right up behind the 2 BRC Hyundais, with Benani's Audi between them. Now, Julien Brichet, I mentioned, started last but one on the grid, so 19th on the grid. He's already up to 13th behind Jessica Beckman. Now, tomorrow he starts from race 2, and we know from last year that he does like his race 2 victories, does Julien Brichet. We briefly saw him at the start of your shot. So there's our race leader going through, Nicolas Bart. Then Mike Halder. The gap now is 3.7 seconds already after just 3 laps. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to see that angle again of the start. I'm not sure if Homola moved before the lights or whether it was just that Bart was caught napping. That angle doesn't really show it well. And that was the tap. That saw Pepe Oriola go into the gravel, and I'm not sure whether it had anything to do with his teammate Dan Lloyd. Brichet up another place now. So Julien Brichet in the 24 Peugeot, having passed Jessica Beckman for 12th place now. There's Benani. Danny Nage just behind. There goes Homola through. And then behind is Dan Lloyd, and Michel Halder still scrapping for 6th. We're on lap 4 of 14. And there is Jessica Beckman off on the left. What happened there? Jessica Beckman, that's turn 11. Yellow flags are out in the second sector. Marshall's already there. I wonder if we get a replay from another angle, but Jessica Beckman off at turn 11. And our leader is on the 5th racing lap. Nicolas Bart now just over 4 seconds clear of Mike Halder in 2nd place. Mato Homola 3rd, Mehdi Benani 4th, Danny Nage is 5th, Dan Lloyd 6th, Michel Halder is 7th, Martin Rieber 8th, Teddy Claret 9th, Jimmy Claret 10th, John Philippe 11th, Julien Brichet 12th, Florian Brichet is just behind his dad in 13th, Sami Tofert 14th, and Andreas Beckman in 15th. Big cloud of dust. But who's inside that cloud? 19, that's Andreas. Oh, heavy front-end damage. We didn't see that behind the advertising hoarding or indeed through the dust. So, both the Beckmans out of this race. Andreas, and there's the scene at target competition. They can't believe their misfortune, bad luck, and indeed a safety car is in play. So, the first 2 laps behind the safety car will be added to the race distance, as our race leader, already having slowed, Nicolas Bart in the Audi RS3 LMS, leading from Mike Halder, Mato Homola, Mehdi Benani, Danny Nage, Dan Lloyd, Michel Halder, Martin Rieber, Teddy Claret and Jimmy Claret. That's your top 10. And we just saw Andreas Beckman, presumably having had a collision with the wall, judging by the front-end damage of the Hyundai. And Andreas just coming out of the car. Well, this is Jessica again, the 26 car. Yes, that's the damage caused to the front. So, sideways across the track, into the wall, and into retirement for Andreas Beckman. Jessica already out of the car, and fingers crossed we'll see Andreas being helped out by the marshals very shortly. So, safety car then on this 6th lap of 14 of race 3. round 3 of TCR Europe 2020. And there is Andreas with the marshals on the right-hand side. Good news, so he is safely out of the car. So the car will need to be recovered from its position. Already beneath me in the paddock, I've just seen one of the recovery trucks on its way, so fingers crossed we'll be underway again before too long. Nicolas Bart must be wondering where this chunk of bad luck came from. A lead of over 4 seconds over Mike Halder. Now it's all bunched up again. So 18 of the original 20 starters still running. Let's run through them then while we've got this safety car. And the 2 incidents involving 26 and 19 are under investigation. So on the timing screen, the incident involving Jessica, which we didn't really see, we just saw the aftermath, and the incident involving Andreas, same again, we just saw across the track and going into the wall, both of those incidents being investigated. And it may well be, thank you Phil, message from the TCR guru, Phil Kinch, that it was, he thinks, Florian Brichet that was involved in Jessica's accident. And it was indeed Lloyd that assisted Oriola into the gravel. So that'll be an awkward conversation when they get back to the paddock. So Jessica's car being recovered. I think I just saw the recovery truck pulling up to Andreas. This is again Jessica. Yes, Florian Brichet, number 4 Peugeot, who was at the head of that queue. Now that was the back of Andreas's car, and it didn't seem to be any contact. I'm not sure if we can see that replay again, whether it was Andreas who got onto the grass and got sideways, but it didn't seem from that angle as though there was any contact. So then, Nicolas Bartz, Come To You Racing Audi RS3 LMS leads from Mike Halder in the Profi Team Halder Honda Civic. Then Mato Homola, BRC Hyundai 3rd, Mehdi Benani Audi 4th, Danny Naj Hyundai 5th, Dan Lloyd Honda 6th, Michel Halder Honda in 7th, Martin Rieber Honda 8th. Now look up ahead. Oh no, there was contact with one of the Audis. So that would have been Taufik, I guess, in that position. So it looked as though Andreas clipped the back of Sami Taufik's car, which got him sideways. Where were we? Danny Naj, Dan Lloyd in 6th, Michel Halder 7th, Martin Rieber 8th, Teddy Claret 9th, Jimmy Claret 10th, John Philippi 11th, Julien Brichet 12th, Florian Brichet 13th, Sami Taufik 14th, 15th is now Jean-Laurent Navarro, Pepe Oriola still running back in 16th place, just ahead of Stefan Vontaja and Gilles Colombani, and our 2 retirees so far, Andreas Beckman and Jessica. So once again, Target Competition will have work to do tonight to get the cars ready for race 2 tomorrow. And on the timing screen, no more information, just that the 2 incidents are under investigation. So speedy recovery work for Jessica's car. That's already on the way back to the paddock. And Andreas's car, fingers crossed, will be following her back very shortly. So race duration now will be 16 laps. Yellow light still on the safety car. As the cars come through. Change compared to last year's regulations. The first 2 laps now under the safety car added to the race distance. There is Taufik. Doesn't appear to be any damage at the back. let's have a look again at that incident. Look at the top of your screen. There was definitely contact between the pair, but Andreas was behind Taufik, getting across the track and heavily into the concrete barrier. So, one for the stewards, as will be the contact between Florian Brichet and Jessica Beckman. There is Andreas's car coming back to the paddock. In front of me, in fact, there you are. That's Jessica's car being taken down towards target competition. I don't think there's any barrier damage. So let's keep an eye on the safety car. There is Andreas getting a lift back. Wow, that's quite a shunt at the front of that car. So safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. So we will be back underway for the revised race distance of 16 laps. The message being radioed through to the cars. The customary weaving now taking place, but it'll be down to Nicolas Bart to mastermind this restart. The lights on the safety car will go off as they head down towards turn 12, which is the right-hand hairpin at Bolderbergbocht. I've been waiting to say that all race. That's the second of the chicane, so they're just going through turns 8 and 9 at the moment. And safety car driver's now got his foot down, so he gets clear of the pack to allow Nicolas Bart to dictate the restart. Safety car lights are off. We will be racing once again very shortly. The field bunches up. Nicolas Bart, having built a lead of 4 seconds over Mike Halder, will have to do it all again. Safety car pulls off into its standby position, and so just through the final chicane, turns 15 and 16, and then Nicolas Bart will see the start-finish line in front of him. He puts the hammer down. We are racing once again. Once the green flag waves, there it is. Nicolas Bart restarts the race then after the second incident involving one of the Beckmans. There is John Filippi, the all-green now. The green highlights sole target competition car still running. Already tangling with Julien Brichet. And Brichet briefly having got past for 11th, but Filippi saying, no, no thank you, I'm having that back. So Brichet and Filippi scrapping for P11 and P12. Ahead, the two Claret brothers, Jimmy and Teddy. There is Danny Nage, scrapping with Dan Lloyd. That's the battle for 5th and 6th. Mehdi Benani is slowing. Both Nage and Lloyd are past, as is Michel Halder. So Mehdi Benani has a problem, possibly a puncture. Nothing obvious on the car, but Mehdi Benani pulls up in the Audi. So that's John Filippi diving up and getting that completely wrong. Now this is the moment that Michel Halder goes past Mehdi Benani and he pulls over. So, all change then. Nicolas Bart, 1.6 seconds clear of Mike Halder at the head of the field. Matto Homola still third, and then behind, it's all change. Danny Nage is ahead of Dan Lloyd still, but they're now 4th and 5th. Michel Halder is now 6th. Martin Rieber is 7th. There is Sami Taufik scrapping with Pepe Oriola. I believe Oriola's gone past into 12th. So yes, That's Oriola 12th, Tofik 13th, Florian Brichet has dropped to 14th. Then it's Navarro 15th in the final of the point-scoring positions. 24 and 27 are under investigation after contact at the chicane. So that's Julien Brichet and John Filippi. Dan Lloyd was saying before the weekend that he was concerned about the success ballast he was carrying, but he'll be, I think, fairly pleased with P5. Remember, tomorrow Dan Lloyd will start from pole on the reverse grid race 2. So there is Nige, there's Lloyd, there is Michel Halder, then Martin Rieber, Teddy, Jimmy, John Filippi, and there is Julien Brichet, currently 11th. Just having a little look. Guys from BRC, and Brichet just looks up the inside. Is he going to have a go at... He's going to go round the outside for the left-hander at turn 1. The pair side by side going into that left-hander. But Filippi keeps the position, unsurprisingly. But the pair now side by side into this little complex, turn 2, 3 and 4. And Brichet has the line. Another right-hander at turn 4 gets them behind the paddock, and Brichet has done it. So Brichet up into the top 10 after starting from 19th on the grid. So Filippi drops to 11th. And there is Navarro in the other JSB car. There looks to be damage to the front right, possibly steering. So Pape Oriola then, and this is the sequence, and that was where Navarro got it wrong. And I'm looking at the front. It seems that the front right-hand wheel is back in the arch. Did he break steering? On lap 11 of 16. Yellow flags waving. Oriola taking a look at Brichet, but there is a full course yellow in place. Another investigation, 4 and 6. 4 is Brichet, 6 is Navarro. So that's the collision that saw Navarro take to the gravel. So Bart on the 12th lap of 16. And again, the frustration that he was building a gap of around 5 seconds, I think, from Mike Halder this time. But it'll have to start again for Nicolas Bart. There is our race leader. There is Mike Halder in 2nd place. He, after winning race 2 in Le Castellet, must be absolutely delighted to be in 2nd place in this 3rd round of the series, again carrying success ballast. But the decision for both Mike and his sister Michelle to switch from TCR Germany to TCR Europe, taking place at the last minute, quite literally, only a few days before the race meeting at Le Castellet. Eddie Benani is in the pits. So we still have 16 cars, excuse me, running. Florian Brichet is heading for the pits. He's just come in, just opposite me. So whatever the problem, Florian Brichet is coming in as well. So we're down to 15 runners then. So everybody will get a point, at the very least. Nicolas Bart leads then from Mike Halder. Apart from that brief moment at the start where Matto Homola just got ahead, Nicolas Bart has led virtually from the red lights going out. It's Bart from Mike Halder, from Matto Homola, from Danny Nage, Dan Lloyd, Michel Halder, Martin Rieber, Teddy Claret, Jimmy Claret, Julien Brichet, Navarro's team boss, and there we are, confirmation that something has happened to that front right corner of the Peugeot in the alleged collision between teammates, between Florian Brichet and Jean-Laurent Navarro. So the top 10 then, as I was saying, Julien Brichet is currently 10th, John Philippi is 11th, Pepe Oriola 12th, Sami Tofik 13th, Stefan Vontager is 14th, Gilles Colombani is 15th. As I mentioned a moment ago, Florian Brichet is in the pits at the opposite side of the track from my commentary position. Jean-Laurent Navarro, we've just seen being recovered. Lady Benani is also in the pits, and we saw Andreas and Jessica Beckman, what happened to them a few moments ago. So fingers crossed, we will be racing again very shortly indeed. Full course yellow is about to end, I'm told, so we will be racing once again. Mike Halder needs to close that gap to Nicolas Habart. And there's the guys that come to you. Green flags are waving, we are racing once again. So through turns 15 and 16 comes our race leader to restart this race then. We're now on 13 of 16 here at Zolder. And Mike Halder must be kicking himself thinking, why didn't I get up closer? Nicolas Bart, 2.12 seconds ahead of Mike Halder now. Matto Hommler third. Martin Rieber has got past Michel Halder for sixth. There's got to be a question mark over that, surely. Once again, the field bunched up. As on the right of your screen, Julien Brichet lunges up the inside of Jimmy and Teddy Claret, forcing Jimmy to take avoiding action coming through the chicane. Jimmy Claret with a blue stripe, Teddy with red, and Julien Brichet pulls up. A nightmare race for the JSB team. Not only the engine changes to contend with, which put both Julien and Jean-Laurent Navarro right to the back of the grid, but Navarro is out, Florian Brichet is in the pits, and now the team boss is out as well. Not happy, I wouldn't have thought. Not the greatest of weekends for the team either at Le Castellet, where on home turf they really thought that they would do well. But it is, you have to say, down to the Claret Sport guys to fly the flag for Peugeot so far. Teddy Claret down in 8th, Jimmy Claret in 9th. Jean-Philippe tangling with Stefan Vontager. There is Vontager in the 81 car, just behind Gilles Colombani in the 66 Peugeot. So 14 of the 20 cars still running. At the head of the field, Nicolas Bart's lead is now 2.5 seconds over Mike Halder. Through the chicane at turns 5 and 6. Back of the field now, and I'm told it's considered that where Julien Brichet has stopped at turn 10 is regarded as a safe position, and so there won't be any repeat of either the full course yellow or the safety car. Hommler then, ahead of his teammate Danny Nage. That's 3rd and 4th we're looking at. But you have to say, a real mixture of brands, because we saw in Le Castellet that it was John Philippi, Hyundai, who was quickest in qualifying, and then Dan Lloyd, Honda, winning race 1, Mike Halder, Honda, winning race 2, and here, Nicolas Bart, Audi, looking to be on course for the race victory ahead of the Honda of Mike Halder, the Hyundai of Matto Hommler, with the Hyundai of Danny Nage and the Honda of Dan Lloyd behind, and also Dan's boss, Martin Rieber, team boss of Brutal Fish, in 6th. penultimate lap then, 15 of 16 here at Zolder. Far more incidents this time. If you were with us at the Castellet, perhaps recall me saying that it was very gentlemanly, very neat, very professional to start the season. But the elbow's starting to come out now, the incident's starting to happen, and the stewards will have their work cut out, I think, after this race. Several incidents reported for investigation. No penalties handed out during the race. So that will be something potentially we'll see for tomorrow. One thing I didn't mention, we're looking at Pepe Oriola there in the 74 car, as if the problems with the front splitter and having a nightmare qualifying weren't enough. He was also fined, or the team were fined, €600 for an unsafe release. So he was coming out of the pit box area, and I think it was one of the Peugeots who was coming along. The team released Pepe right into the path of the Peugeot. No damage done, but it still cost the team €600. So not the best of days for Pepe Oriola, you have to say. But the other two Brutal Fish cars currently 4th and 5th. Sorry, 5th and 6th. Dan Lloyd in 5th, Martin Rieber in 6th. There is Lloyd, there is Rieber. There is Michel Halder in 7th, just behind. And then it's Teddy Claret ahead of Jimmy, and Pepe Oriola now up into the top 10. Michel Halder closing in on Martin Rieber. But as she left it too late, we're on the final lap. 3.1 seconds now, Nicolas Bart's lead over Mike Halder. There is our race leader. And get ready for some celebrations, because this 19-year-old son of the Come To You team boss, Jean-Michel Bart, Taufik's car still running in 11th, but Mehdi Benani having retired on lap 9. There's Mike Halder, there's Hommler, there's Danny Nage. So both the Hyundais looking for 3rd and 4th places to finish. But indeed, Nicolas Bart has driven, apart from that little glitch at the beginning, virtually lights to flag. He comes down the start-finish straight, the lights flash, and he will be taking the checkered flag now to win round 3 of TCR Europe 2020. Congratulations to Nicolas Bart. Mike Halder finishes 2nd, 3rd is Matto Hommler, 4th is Danny Nage, Dan Lloyd is 5th, Martin Rieber 6th, Michel Halder is 7th, then it's Teddy Claret, Jimmy Claret 9th, Pepe Oriola 10th, then Sami Taufik, Jean-Philippe, Stéphane Vontarja and Gilles Colombani. And those are our 14 finishers from the 20 who started the race. But that is the man who will be very, very happy when he gets back to the paddock, waving at the marshals, thanking them for their work. Nicolas Bart, Come To You Racing Audi RS3 LMS. And as I said earlier on, Nathaniel Berton on pole for WTCR in an Audi, so this clearly a happy hunting ground for the Audis at Zolder. Nicolas and the team on home ground, he was telling me earlier that they've tested here, he's comfortable here, and this is just the boost to his confidence that the youngster needs. Mike Halder, though, will be leading this series after a race win and a 2nd place. Dan Lloyd, who arrived here in Belgium as series leader, having picked up P5 in this race, what can he do tomorrow in race 2 when he'll be starting from pole? Mike Halder, though, very happy, I suspect, with that. Here's a stat for you. Come To You Racing took pole and race 1 win at Spa last year when the team was on home ground with Gilles Magnus. And at home this year, there's the celebration. Detlef there from Audi. Jean-Michel Bart from Come To You. So the team pole and race 1 win in their home race, their first home race of the year, because of course we go to Spa later in the year. But they'll be happy with that performance. Into the pit lane then comes Nicolas Bart. Annette Kovari will be waiting with her microphone poised to catch up with our race winner. But we will get confirmation of the race result very shortly. You also have to say that with all of the engineering effort and the team that goes in to Come To You, Mike Halder doesn't really have a team boss, because that's him, doesn't really have an engineer, because that's him. He sets up the 2 cars, and it's very much a family affair with the Profi team car. But at the moment, all eyes are on Come To You, Nicolas Bart, and you can see what that means to him. So once again, a mix of brands on the podium. Nicolas Bart wins for Audi, Mike Halder second for Honda, third Matto Homola in a Hyundai. Excellent result for Come To You. The Belgians will be celebrating this evening. Audi, I think, will be very happy too. And as I say, team effort, family effort from Team Halder. Congratulations from them, from the Profi car team. Michel also finishing well within the top 10 in P7. And Matto happy enough.
Thank you. Yeah, it's his turn now. I'm finished.
It's his turn now, says Dad. So let's get confirmation then of round 3 of TCR Europe 2020. Our race winner, Nicolas Bart, for the Come To You team in the Audi. Second, Mike Halder. Third is Matto Homola. Fourth, Danny Nage. Fifth, Dan Lloyd. Sixth is Martin Rieber. Seventh is Michel Halder. Then Teddy and Jimmy Claret and Pepe Oriola rounding off the top 10. And behind the 10, 4 more finishers. 11th is Sami Taufik. 12th is John Filippi. 13th is Stefan Vontager. 14th is Gilles Colombani. And then behind is a run of non-finishers. Julien Brichet, Florian Brichet, Jean-Laurent Navarro, Mehdi Benani, Andreas and Jessica Beckman. That's how they all finished, or not in some cases, but that's the story of race 1 here in Zolder. Okay, Annette Kovari is down in the pit lane talking to our race winner.
Brilliant performance, Nicola, congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Yes, starting from the pole and winning your home race. Are you happy?
It's unbelievable. I cannot believe it, you know. Second race in TCR, podium victory. The weekend is perfect. For me, tomorrow is just bonus, you know. I lead all the race, so yeah, that was perfect. The perfect conditions were there, so I cannot be happy. I can be not more happy than I am now.
What was the key moment of the race?
The start for me. At the start, Omola overtook me, and then in the chicane, I overtook him again, and I gained back my first position, and then I led the entire race. So that was the start.
So it's true, it isn't a dream, and it's time to shine. Congratulations once more.
Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you, Nicolas. I was going to point out when he said he led the entire race, there was just that little bit at the beginning where Matto Homola just got ahead. So our montage of race 1 here in Zolder. That's the story of the race. And Matto Homola briefly getting ahead right at the start of the race off the start line, but Nicolas Bart, as he said, got back ahead at the chicane, at the Thierry Boutsen chicane, the first of 3.
We will do the podium ceremony in English. First on the podium, on the 3rd place, Mr. Matto Homola. 2nd place on the same podium, Mr. Mike Holder. And there can be only one winner. The winner is from Belgium. His name, Nicolas Bart.
Listen to that cheer.
And of course, we also have a winning team, and the winning team is also from Belgium. Please welcome Come To You Racing. And now, because Nicolas Bart is the winner, we have the national anthem for Nicolas Bart. Yes, this is the podium of the TCR.
So the Belgian national anthem to commemorate the victory for Nicolas Bart, who bizarrely also qualifies as a rookie driver in the Yokohama Trophy, and so not only takes the win, but takes a shed load of points for that as well. Despite the social distancing and the masks, there is still place for champagne and a slightly more animated champagne spraying than we saw in Le Castellet 3 weeks ago. So that was race 1 here in Zolder, a very popular race winner. We'll do it all again. We've got race 4, round 4 of TCR Europe 2020 for you tomorrow, and our coverage begins at 3:10 local time. Hopefully, we'll see you then.